Hi everyone, great to be here. My name is Lenny Joseph. I'm the founder of KLPD and Greenole and also a key player with Bidtracer. And today on the first episode of this podcast, I have with me Professor Adolfo from the University of Brasília. He's been in Brasília for a while, and we're glad to have you. We're glad to have you here. So if you can tell the audience about a little bit about yourself, your background, what you do, and we're going to be talking about building automation and the history of building automation. And I think your history and your background is quite interesting, and how you got into the building automation space. So if you can just give us a bit about yourself, as well as the rest.
Yes, thank you very much for the invitation. I was born in south of Brazil, but I'm living here in Brasília since '64. So I consider myself a guy from Brasília.
Right.
Yes. I didn't came to Brasília. My parents brought me here. And so I studied at the University of Brasília, electrical engineering. After I graduated, I worked 4 years in a company, a computer company. And then at this time, we have the end of the informatic. It was a reserve that only Brazilian companies could sell informatic products here in Brazil. In 1990, a new president came and he opened the market. And so I was fired. And so I had to look for other options, and so I went to make a PhD. When I came back, I have an invitation from the University of Brasília. And for me, it was very interesting because my idea as a student was to learn a lot, to start my own company. I like to build a company and make a lot of money. But then I said, I need to learn with others, not starting with no knowledge. And so I started this working time with the computer industry. But then everything changed and I had to go to PhD. And when I'm back at the university, I learned that at the university you have 3 things everybody in Brasília likes to do. We have, it's the capital city, so we have public employees. And the employees, they hate a boss. They like to work without a boss. And they should do things they do not like. And so at the university, I could choose the lectures I give. I could choose the projects. I could choose the students I work with. Right. I have great liberty to choose my own projects. And I have no boss, because at the university you have the cátedra, and so you can choose what you teach. And so I only, not rich, but otherwise I have found my place to work. Yes, my niche, yes, indeed. Yes. And so, and then I told the students, you have to choose. If you like to have security, you go to public employees. If you like to have much money, you have to take risk, and you have to show yourself to the market. I think it's a pity, but most of our students, they go to the public because the salaries are much higher. So in São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, they go to the market. But in Brasília, we have it's a not loyal competition with the public system.
No, that is quite interesting. So, but your background, your bachelor's degree is in electrical engineering.
Yes.
So how did you get into automation and mechatronics? So what was that journey like?
Yes, when I was a student, we had 5 directions in the electrotechnic.
Okay.
We could choose power system.
Okay.
We could choose telecommunication. We could choose electronics. We could choose control automation, and then more recently network engineering.
Okay.
But then I said, when I start a company, I cannot compete with the power industries. The power companies are big. We have power, hydropower,
right?
And this I cannot build an hydropower for myself. In the telecommunications sector, I said, at that time when I came back, cell phones were very a good hype. And then I said, I cannot compete making a cell phone like Nokia, like Samsung. And I cannot do microchips because the competition. And then I say, control, I have a lot of small opportunities. Every building, every small minoration. Because the automation has individual solutions.
Right.
And this gives me the opportunity as a small business to work with him. And I'd say, I don't like to compete with Samsung or other big companies. Right. I like to give my solution so I have always a job. That was my...
that was your reason.
Yes. But then my PhD was in robotics, manipulators guided by sensors. I used a camera with high speed. The point was, I like to have a PhD abroad. I do not like to, because I knew UNB, I knew us, and I like to have the experience abroad, because I think it would be interesting. My grandparents came from Germany, and so for me it was easy because I could speak German. And I said, I like to do something there. And at that time, CNPq, this is the government institute that gives the scholarships, they said, we had now a new phase, not to send people abroad when they can study here. If they can have PhD here at USP, Rio de Janeiro, we will send them abroad. And so they said, we give only scholarship if it's an interest theme that is not available in Brazil. And so I thought, what can I do that is very exotic and is very interesting? And so I said, artificial intelligence for robotics.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And people from the CNPq, they were excited, say, okay, this is really relevant. And so I got into this robotics more as a theme or a matter that's not available in Brazil. Not because I thought I like to build the automation,
right.
But to get a PhD scholarship, I need a different or an interesting
field.
Yes, and that's also, I think, the reason why I later changed, because it was not the first love to go for robotics. But in robotics, it's a very complicated field, and people said, if you can control a robot, you can control anything.
Right.
This was and so I try to apply the knowledge or the engineering from robotics in other fields. But my perception was that to make money, you need simple things, not complicated. Too complicated is not. It's interesting for paper when you like to publish.
Right.
You need original results. But if you like to make money, you need to know what the people need.
Correct.
And make that.
Correct. I completely agree, and I know we're going to talk about the history of building automation, but it's good to get the context from you in terms of what shaped your career, because I think a lot of young people would love to hear that, because these are some of the challenges they go through today, right? They look at AI, they look at what's going on in the space, and they're thinking, oh, what do I do? What am I going to have a job? Am I not? And your thinking process is very important. So I'll give you some history about myself.
Yes.
And what led me down the journey that I have made so far, right? So I grew up in Nigeria. So I have my education, all of my basic education from kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school in Nigeria. I also have my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I don't probably notice I'm Indian background, And the only option for Indian children is you have to be a doctor or you have to be an engineer. You are either a doctor, you're engineer, or nothing.
Yes. I loved a film, The Three Idiots. You know that?
Yes.
I love this movie.
Yes.
This is for me one of the best.
One of the best, right? Yeah. So it is. So it's that mindset. And I remember when I was very little, I wanted to be a doctor because it's only two options: engineer, doctor, or nothing, right? I wanted to be a doctor. Then I realized, I think early on in my middle school, I realized that I don't have the level of emotional energy that is needed for medicine. Because I realized that medicine is a field in which you could be dealing with a lot of sadness, a lot of, people are sick, you help them, but when they first come to you, they're coming sick. And the only two options, half of it, and my dad is a math professor, so the only two options, you are going to end up with that. So and having a very strong background in math, I figured, you know what? I'm a happy person. I love to have a good drink and party and have good friends and everything else. So, and math is easy for me because my dad is a math professor. So engineering, it's perfect.
Natural.
It's like, it just fits right in. So I ended up with a degree in mechanical engineering from University of Ilorin in Nigeria. So I got my degree. Before I got my degree, I worked in UK for a couple of years. And I worked during, at that time, they used to have strikes in the university. And during the strike period, my industrial training period extended. So I spent a year or two in UK. Then when I finished, I worked with a trading company, then I started working for a construction company. And I was in construction on a World Bank water rehabilitation project in Nigeria for a couple of years. Then after that, I went to Malaysia, and this was in the 90s when Malaysia, the Southeast Asia, was growing very, very fast. And I worked for IJM Corporation, one of the largest construction companies in Malaysia, and we did a design-build project where we built 10,000 houses of low-cost housing units, right? And right as I was doing that, I was coming to my 4-year completion after my graduation of having work experience. And I applied to get my PE license, my professional engineering license, because I'm like, okay, I've got this, I've worked for 4 years, I should be able to get my PE license. And the Institute of Mechanical Engineers and the other associations would not let me take the exam to do my PE status because the university I went to had not paid their dues. So they said the degree was not accredited. And I was really mad. I was like, look, I worked on a World Bank project for a while. I also did this big project in Malaysia, and I was design build, I was doing mechanical, electrical, all of this stuff. And you tell me it's not accredited, how? So at that point I decided, I need to get a degree from a place that nobody will ever question my capability. So I came to do a master's in mechanical engineering in the United States.
You are okay.
So that I can get that. And it was actually in Michigan State. So I decided to go get my mechanical engineering degree. Now, in mechanical engineering, I specialize in thermal fluids and fluid dynamics. Right? And I love thermal fluids and fluids because there's a lot of math involved. There's a lot of abstract math involved in it, right? From Bernoulli's equations, and you go down the whole math, right? And I remember I did very well in school. I graduated, and when I was looking for a job, I had offers from General Motors. My professor that I worked for wanted me to do my PhD, but he didn't realize the only reason why I was doing it was because I just want the engineering checked, but I wanted to be in the workforce. And I actually got job offers from General Motors to work in the design center, to design cars and everything else. And then I happened upon Johnson Controls during a career fair. And Johnson Controls came over, and when I met with them and I saw that they were in construction, and I was like, yes, I would like to be in construction, and I wanted a project manager job, so I'm not sitting behind a desk, but I'm all on the field because every day is a different day and everything else. And that's how I ended up in Johnson Controls. And prior to that, I had zero knowledge about control systems. Literally zero. Because in the countries that I grew up, you just had like mini split, the window units for air conditioning, or like the mini splits you see up here, and that's it. You don't have ducted systems, you didn't have chillers, you didn't have any of those things. So when I came to Johnson Controls as a project engineer, project manager, I had zero knowledge of controls. And today I'm here with controls companies and the rest, but it's kind of interesting how your career takes the path based on your desires and your reflection of what reality is for you in the present and the future, right?
Yes, very interesting. Many common points. When I was finishing my undergraduate, not undergraduate, the high school, our professor said to me, you have to make medicine, you have to be a doctor. And because I had very good marks, and they said, you need to be a doctor, you can do it. And I said, I don't like it. Because I said, a doctor has the same problems over and over again. Yes, they came the same patients with the same complaints, and I said, I like to make things that challenge me, that I can innovate. I cannot do the same because I think doctors are very relevant, but they have no. Most of the time, they have not the time to understand this new situation, and we miss today the home doctor.
Correct.
The home doctor, because today we have the health insurances, and this is a system. It's a machine for making money, and no one hears what you have.
Correct.
And so this is frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Now as a patient.
And so I know as we wrap up this section of it, I'll also add one thing. You mentioned something early on about having a career, being able to make money, and making money is on the simplest aspects of things, right? So one of the things that I tell people in general is, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy, right? It's simple. Maslow's hierarchy, it starts off, from the basics. It's food, clothing, shelter.
Yes.
Right? Those are the three things. So if you can find work in those areas, you're rest assured that you're protected, because everybody always needs it. And when it comes to buildings for me, and this is why I'm so excited to be in this field, when it comes to buildings, I tell people, if I was Thanos from the movies, the Marvel comics, and I snapped my fingers and froze the world, every human being on this earth would either be in a building or on their way to another building.
Yes.
So when you put that into perspective, I think the buildings and building construction and the industry of providing shelters and converting it into something else, like a digital asset, is where the future lies in terms of work, and a lot of work for a lot of people. So we're wrapping up the session here, and if you like what we're talking about, if you think this is going to be of value to you, please subscribe to our channel, go ahead and follow us, share it, make some comments, and let's keep this conversation going, and we look forward to speaking to you in the next episode. Thank you.